In this video, my friend and YouTuber I Am Lucid talked about his true thoughts on VR chat, and the things he says are pretty shocking. VR chat is one of the biggest virtual reality games out there, with over 20,000 people playing the game every single day. It's practically the home of the VR
chat funny though, ain't gonna lie. Like VR chat
community.
VR chat
People can escape into new, exciting, and sometimes strange worlds and be whoever they want. I like to say it's like dreaming with your eyes open. But what happens when virtual reality becomes your actual reality? For those of you who are
if they make something like if they are able to make something like Ready Player One, I would buy it, because Ready Player One is so calm.
Unhappy with your lives, VR becomes your happiness and your way of coping. And that's when addiction takes root. I'm hooked.
I have people on my friends list. Every time I log on, they're online. Every single time. Like whether it be 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, they're always online. They literally live inside of VR chat.
Omega Recovery, a mental health service, released an article explaining some of the symptoms of VR gaming addiction, and it's bad. People would stop doing things as simple as cleaning or eating. When researching, we even found some people who...
I don't know what's wrong with that. I don't know where you get to the point where... I don't know how you get to the point where like you so hooked on VR chat that you just like you just like lose sense of reality. Like you just don't live in the real world.
To stay in the game. They would isolate themselves from their friends and family, only wanting to talk with people in VR. And lastly, people experience serious issues like depression, anxiety, and increased aggression.
The way that people can get addicted to VR chat and games alike is when they're lacking of something that is necessary in their real life, and then they use VR chat as an escape from those problems.
A YouTuber called Mr. Drew came forward with his own story. After he was introduced to VR by a friend, Drew got himself an Oculus Rift and started playing free demos. And once he finished those, he discovered a new game, VR chat.
I soon found myself spending hours upon hours in VR chat.
And the thing is, bro, ain't gonna
singing karaoke.
The characters on here be insane, bro. I seen like this tall ass cat with a
watching movies, exploring worlds, playing games.
Sadly, it wasn't long before these sessions would spiral out of control, and before Drew knew it, he was hooked.
I bought index controllers and Vive trackers, allowing my fingers and entire body to be tracked while in VR.
Like, bro, that's
my addiction, making it harder and harder to leave this weird world I felt pulled into.
Soon, Drew started to experience some of the symptoms we talked about.
I started to sleep while in VR. Only removing the headset.
Sleeping is like so insane. Addicted to certain things.
I'm
addicted to like buying stuff, but like I couldn't be. I just couldn't see myself being addicted to this.
Only leaving it to keep the body I was plagued with IRL alive.
But after 2 months of recovery, Drew was able to heal and is now able to enjoy VR chat in a healthier way.
Just throw it away.
There's so many people like Drew who
just throw it away. Like I feel like all you really need, like if you're a dude, all you really need to do is that's like, nah, like, I'm like, if you a dude, all you really need to do is buzz and then like, bro, like, you'll come to the senses, like, what am I doing? Me? I come to the senses, what am I doing? I just end up throwing it away.
Who get dangerously hooked on this game. On VR chat, the servers you join are called worlds, and some of these worlds can be gateways to even bigger vices, because there's a darker side to VR chat. One that includes staying out late and partying right inside your headset. The VR chat nightlife. The nightlife is the term used for activities available for people at night. This can mean things like bars, nightclubs, and casinos, and can also mean darker things like substance issues and other activities not safe for work. But what if I told you that these things happen on VR chat too? The buried underneath this game filled with silly avatars is a disgusting nightlife. Well, it does, and it's thriving. Every Friday and Saturday night, VR chat worlds like the Void Club were filled with hundreds of users. The Void Club is a nightclub with DJs, a dance floor, and other concerning features.
There's like back rooms, there's like secret rooms that you can lock the actual doors on. Sometimes people can, go into a door or into like a room and get freaky with each other inside of the Void Club.
And while everyone in the VR chat
community... in VR chat? How are you getting freaky in VR chat? No way that is like turning you on, bro. Like I refuse to believe that, bro.
He has different opinions about the place. There's one thing that seems dangerously common. People drink in the Void Club. And I don't mean virtual drinks. People will drink massive amounts in real life while playing VR chat.
Okay, no, that's bad.
Just get drunk there a lot.
That's bad, bro. Like y'all too deep in, bro.
Like a regular club, but inside of VR chat, and instead of human beings, it's anime boys.
And this may not sound like a problem, but it might when you realize that VR chat's age rating is 13 and up. Not only do young people feel pressured to join, but it can leave them vulnerable to these party animals, and sometimes to Preds. In an interview done by Brandon FM, the person he interviewed revealed a group of men who would look for vulnerable girls on VR chat.
They gather women, whether it's in the world they're in or through invites. They never really ask their age at all. They don't really care about what age they are.
Once they had a group of girls, they would start a drinking game with them.
Bro, nigga, is that Killua?
Care about what age they are.
Once they had a
Bro, who has a Killua avatar?
group of girls, they would start a drinking game with them. One guy would stand in the middle of the group and play a song. Throughout the song, he would raise his hand, and whenever his hand was raised, the girls would have to drink. And this game would go on for a long time because they prepared a list of songs to keep the girls playing.
By the time that they were done with all the songs and stuff, they'd basically have their picking drunk girls.
Sure, this may not be in real life, and they can't do anything physical to them, but they can still easily influence them. And sadly, this isn't the only group like this. On VR chat, there are dangerous groups that seek to cause damage. The gangs of VR chat. Before we talk about these insidious gangs, I want to Valorant has salty players, Warzone has kids yelling slurs, but VR chat has gangs. And as silly as that sounds,
Bro, how do you have a gang in VR? Imagine like putting on your headset and becoming like, what?
they can be pretty serious. I'm Lucid gave us an inside look into the minds of these gangs.
What a VR chat gang pretty much is a group of people that meet online. Usually, they have issues with their own family in real life, as far as I can tell. So they feel like they have to get that family protection feeling that all us humans innately need and want. So they meet these gangs online in VR chat, and they feel like, okay, I'm part of this like bigger group. I feel like I have purpose in this life because of my, cult that I'm currently in.
What these gangs do is take advantage of VR chat's vulnerable systems to crash people's games remotely.
I put something into the gun so it would shoot out particles. It crashed the entire world except everybody but you would just delete.
These gangs believed that they would gain clout for crashing people, but they also did it to
You can crash niggas. Okay, all right. They overly getting too comfortable. I don't know how people do this. I can never have my VR. I can never have my VR on longer than 30 minutes. Like it hurts my head.
People
It hurts
who
my
knew
eyes.
about their illegal operations. It turns out that these gangs actually stole people's custom-made avatars and would resell them for an insane amount of money.
Like ripping avatars and like reselling them and things like that. Oh, thousands of dollars easily. I would say at least 10,000.
And I'm Lucid talked about the consequences of messing with these gangs.
They all have like a mob mentality, group motive, where if they don't like somebody or a person doesn't fit into their like beliefs, for an example, they'll get put on something called the KOS list.
If they see a user on the KOS list or on site list, they go after them with everything they've got. These gang members would have apps on their PCs to scan thousands of VR chat worlds to see who's in them. Sometimes they would even try to get rid of them permanently through something called a GPU crasher. With a GPU being one of the main components of your PC, you'd be lucky to play.
So they'll time it. So they basically just internet gangsters that try to crash your PC. Now why do they own that?
Minecraft at 12 FPS without it. This is how it's done.
On an avatar, there would be some sort of particle effect or like a mesh crasher, and it would have so many particles in it, and it would just keep, instead of closing the game like it would do now, it would leave it open. So if you left your game open, it would spin your fan faster and faster and faster until.
Here's one thing you need to do before you buy
No way you can. No way they crash the niggas' PCs, bro.
The VR chat developers eventually stepped in and.
Bro, is that Kermit? Is that Kermit throwing ass?
Faster until.
The VR chat developers eventually stepped in and introduced safety settings in an attempt to stop the GPU crashers, but the problem still happens today. Currently, the gangs have seemingly gone underground, and no one has heard of them since their peak in 2020, but some still say they stalk the servers searching for new victims. Roleplay. ERP. Roleplay is exactly what you think it is. For the sake of YouTube, I'm going to be referring to this as roleplay or RP. While it's nothing new, it's been in online games for decades, and it's one of the main parts of VR chat. In some VR chat worlds, there are private booths people can go to, fully equipped with beds, soundproof walls, and a lock system to keep people from seeing what goes on behind closed doors.
What are you doing?
People even use full body tracking.
What are you doing in VR?
For this purpose.
It's becoming so hyper realistic to a point where people are making mods and little additions that they can add to their avatars that gives them fully working private parts.
But what makes this especially bad is once again the young people playing. A study from 2019 shows that 51% of 11 to 13-year-olds have seen content of that nature online. But VR chat takes it to another level. Not only are there VR chat worlds made for this, but also avatars designed with RP in mind. These kinds of avatars are not allowed on public servers like the Void Club, but yet so many VR chat worlds have it. To show you just how much inappropriateness there is, we sent our scriptwriter CJ into VR chat and these were his findings. There's some worlds we found that were so graphic we can't show them to you guys. One world was centered around a certain niche. When you entered, it stated that you had to be 18 or older. On the surface, the world seemed pretty normal. It had chairs, a couch, and a TV screen, but there were 4 private rooms. Each room had a restraining device in the middle of it, and on the table beside it were different tools.
Alright, bro. Alright, bro. Y'all overly, like, you can't even feel this in real life. What are you doing? Like, are you like, bro, what's going, like, bro, come on, bro. The world is doomed, bro. Like, if VR get to the point to where, like, it's like Ready Player One, and you can, like, it's more advanced than, like, you can get, like, the, you know, Ready Player One, you get, like, the full body. Like, if somebody touch you, you feel it in real life. Bro, if we get to that point, bro, we're cooked.
What disturbed us the most was that these restraints came in different sizes, and not all of them were adult size. So I'm lucid, and myself included, believe that this role-playing epidemic could be the future, and there's a huge problem that comes with that.
They get this hyper-realistic expectation of their partner looking a certain way, acting a certain way, and especially in VR chat, when you have a full working body identical to real life, nobody in real life can mimic that exact visual appearance that the VR chat anime girl that was made in Blender and Unity will ever come close to a real human being.
And while we can't stop the creators of these RP games, we can do our part and encourage our friends not to join in. The story of Tech Gangster. There are so many preds on VR chat, but there's one who was so infamous that his name alone would make people furious.
I know Tech Gangster is a very well-known file around these parts, at least.
Well-known is crazy.
30 women who had encounter with this one guy.
The clip you just saw came from the YouTuber Quits. Quits' brother was harassed by Tech Gangster, so Quits went on a mission to find Tech himself. He went to different VR
How are y'all beefing in VR chat
worlds to
y'all will
ask
never see
people
each other
about
like
Tech.
in real life.
Clearly, they don't like him too much. But who is this guy, and what did he do? Tech's real name is actually Brent, and he took advantage of countless women across VR chat. Quits interviewed 2 key people from Brett's life, his former friend and his ex-girlfriend. During the interview with his former friend, who we'll call Megan, Quits found some sickening details about how he played VR chat.
His surroundings, he always had little children around him. He would be such a bad influence on them.
Brent would also let his anger get in the way and would verbally lash out at Megan. The next interview with Brent's ex-girlfriend revealed the dark truth about living with him in real life. She said that he would do things like dump her food, throw stuff, pour liquid on her couch, and much more that we can't talk about.
No way.
Thankfully,
VR
she's
chat
safe
is not
from him
getting
now,
that serious.
and I hope she's doing okay. As for Brent, no one truly knows what happened to him. Some say he still visits VR chat, but I just hope people know to stay away. If you thought Tech Gangster was bad, he's just the tip of the iceberg, because this next person took advantage of people and made an organized business out of it. The adult business. On May 19th, 2022, a VR chat YouTuber named Verum exposed the secret crimes of the user Maze VSF. It turns out that Maze ran an adult video business centered around VR chat. This gave him quite the reputation with the community, and not a good one. He was placed on multiple KOS lists and has been banned from the game over 26 times. You might think that people hated him because of his business, but that's only part of the reason. People truly hated him because of his methods of finding models for his videos. Maze would log onto servers and search for vulnerable female users, then manipulate them with his lies and charm to make them want to join the business.
Yeah, no, I mean, I pay well. Like, people that are with me, they're happy. Like, there's one girl who quit her day job because it, you know, pays really well. Yeah, this is my full-time job. That's all I do is make VR.
Once they're interested, he would ask pictures of their IDs, passports, driver's licenses, and anything to confirm they're adults. But that's not why he asked for their identification. He asked because once the girls sent their personal information over, they had fallen into Maze's trap. He can use it against them. He would also use other techniques to make girls feel a sense of security. He would say things to make them feel special.
Why do you think I ran up to you? Why do you think it was you who I went up to? You're beautiful. for who you are.
He would also make these girls believe.
But get this corny ass white boy out my ear, bro. I'm finna get mad, bro. Why is it like, bro? Like, who? Like, okay. Who's falling for this, bro?
I think it was you who I went up to.
Who's falling for this, bro? You're beautiful for who you are.
Come on, bro. Nigga ain't got no game. In love with them and engaged in relationships.
Nigga ain't got no game.
And in the real world, these are the same methods the criminals use to lure women into. During these relationships, Maze would secretly record their RP sessions and would make the girls send him pictures of themselves. And not just pictures in VR chat, but actual pictures of themselves in real life. So that when they realized Maze was exploiting them, Maze could blackmail them into silence.
Because I'm telling you this right now, if I smell you, if I can smell you near any of my friends or any of my patrons, if I can hear your name, I'm gonna make you regret ever crossing me.
It really makes you
What
wonder,
is wrong with
what kind
this
of
nigga,
man
bro?
would do this? Well, the same man who would engage in multiple relationships while being married himself. The same man
This
who was
nigga's
also
married
a father
in
of
real
2
life?
children.
And he
Maze
got
had
2
no
kids?
shame and was even proud of his manipulation skills.
If I manipulate someone into doing what's better for them, so if you're not doing the job, I'll kick your ass out.
I mean, look at this nigga avatar. Like, that's all I need to know.
You'll get manipulated.
That's all you need to know. Look at this nigga avatar.
But little did Maze know that Verum was on his trail and recorded everything. And Maze finally got what was coming to him. Just a few days after Verum uploaded the video, he released an update on the 23rd of May. Verum's video led to a virtual witch hunt to chase Maze off VR chat, shut down his company, and rescue the girls. Maze was powerless and came crawling to Verum, begging for mercy.
Please delete. Please let me die. You win. You've won. You've accomplished your goal. I am not joking. You are not ever gonna hear from me again. The rest of your life, you will go on. You might think of me from time to time, and you can feel victorious because you were. Goodbye.
I hope Maze faces the justice he deserves and the girls find the peace they need. But this happy ending is a rare one, believe me. Most stories don't end like this because sometimes these people cross the bridge from virtual reality to reality. A mother's worst fear. What's a childhood fear you remember the most? Maybe it was the thought of what lurks under your bed, or was it a fear of something hiding in your closet? Well, one day, that fear came
I hate
true
Finance
for
at Freddy so
someone.
much.
In 2020, a mother heard strange noises coming from her daughter's bedroom. Her daughter has been acting strange for the last month. She was secretive, anxious, and was spending more time in her room than with her family. And these noises were the last straw. The mother stormed into her daughter's room and heard shuffling in her closet. She flung the closet open. She screamed.
Nigga. Your daughter's closet? Ain't gonna lie to you, look, when I have kids, my kids will not be on the internet. I promise you. My kids will not be on the internet, bro. I make my kids go outside and do puzzles and coloring books, bro. They can watch TV. But other than that, they ain't.
Standing in the closet was a man covering himself up in her daughter's clothing.
Bro,
the man
what?
was JR, and he was living in a girl's closet for
I mean, it's fucking white. Look, I mean,
over a month. And they met on VR chat. The girl was using a fake account on VR chat and told JR that she was an adult. After some time, JR drove all the way from Louisiana to Spring Hill to meet her, which is an 8-hour drive.
No
JR
way
then
niggas is
convinced
feeding,
this
bro.
girl to let him stay in her house and hide in the closet whenever someone was home. This went on for over a month before he was found and arrested. The public worlds on VR chat can be a direct line to vulnerable young people who fall prey to
y'all
these
gotta
monsters.
what's the name, bro? Y'all
There's
gotta
still
like
one more to talk
monitor.
about, and this person created a cult filled with young people. The Imposter. In August of 2022, Brandon FM exposed a cult operating on VR chat. It was called the Dark Guild and was run by Alyssa Afton. On the surface, the guild was a large Discord server that held virtual...
Nigga, is this...
by Alyssa Afton. On the surface,
is this the... What's his name from Sword Art Online? This is him, is it not?
Guild
I
was
watch
a large
anime.
Discord
I know
server
characters.
that held virtual meetings through VR chat. Alyssa welcomed people of all ages to hang out and chat in a friendly environment, but Alyssa's true intentions were far more evil.
The guild wanted to start operations where they would kidnap criminals like dealers, bank robbers, and such.
Alyssa was encouraging young people to engage in criminal activity and used her reputation to encourage her guild to do what she says.
I don't roll about my guild, so I know you might be scared to kill an actual person. It's up to you. I know for a fact I'm doing it again. It's too fun. fun.
Bro,
Alyssa
what?
claimed
Wait, like
that
IRL, like she's talking about IRL, or she's talking about like just in game?
ended 5 people. Whether this is true or not, it didn't matter. It terrified the other members, which is exactly what Alyssa wanted. And this leads to what we believe is the real purpose of the Dark Guild, to gather these young people for Alyssa's own desires. Alyssa engaged in multiple relationships with young people in her guild.
Age doesn't matter. He's same age, and I'm dating him.
He's how old? He's
See?
This audio was secretly recorded by Brandon when he went undercover as a teenager to find information about Alyssa. At that time, Alyssa was not only dating that boy, but also married to another person virtually on
I don't
VR
get
chat.
it.
Someone
I don't get
who
it.
was attending summer school at the time. During that same recording, Alyssa tried to roleplay with Brandon, even though he said he was too young.
That depends. Are you up for anything?
You mean like ELP?
Yeah.
Alyssa did this with so many people in her guild, and some were affected mentally.
The mental
Niggas
scars.
got, bro, look, just take off the headset. Just take off the headset and just never put it back on and lose contact with it.
This whole experience has put on my mind are so extreme that I was recently diagnosed with Stockholm Syndrome.
Thankfully, Brandon managed to shut down the entire server. The Dark Guild was disbanded and Alyssa's powers were gone, right? Well, this is where the story should end, but sadly, Alyssa is still out there. But Alyssa's name tells us a lot. Alyssa Afton. The name Afton is a reference to the series Five Nights at Freddy's, after the character ended the lives of 5 people. So when she claimed to have done the same, it's clearly a lie. She's nothing more than an imposter. People will still go on VR chat, and that's okay, right? Because my goal is not to get you guys off any platform, but to be aware of the platform. So how do you stay safe?
The best way to stay safe on VR chat would definitely have to be to have moral grounding as a human being. So first figure out who you are.
Yeah, bro.
What
Like,
you stand
come
for.
on, come on, bro. Like, it's cool to get on VR chat. It's cool to get on VR chat. I mean, like, cause like VR chat is like GTA RP, but like without the GTA, it's just. And I don't know, bro.
Stand firmly on it, and then you can enter VR chat. Because only then you will have a positive experience in the
Bro,
game.
no way niggas is actually like using this, bro.
And it won't actually ruin you as a person, because it does feel like you're playing tug of war with the devil sometimes on that game, where everyone's getting drunk and all these avatars are getting all the clubs and all of the above. But if you have a good standing before you press run on the exe file, you're going to be okay. Matter of fact, it might even be a positive game for you to play.
Doing research on VR chat felt different. It was unlike any other platform we covered, because the other platforms were in the palm of your hands. But virtual reality makes you feel like you're living in another world. When people escape reality to go to VR chat, it truly becomes their reality.
No, I feel like,
it's
if VR chat get like Ready Player One, it's gonna be so bad,
dreaming
bro.
with your eyes
If
open.
they get into where like you can feel everything on your body, bro, like you can in
the
that
internet was
movie,
also once
you're
a dream,
cooked.
and so were computers and smartphones. The future is coming. And my request to you is to spread this message so that we can be prepared once the future is here. Visual Venture.
Bro, it ain't gonna be prepared, bro. We're cooked, bro. We're literally cooked.
Nearly every single person that I've met in VR chat has no objective morality. So everything that they do and say that they think is right versus wrong either comes from the laws of the land that they live in or from their own hedonistic pleasures. There's obviously many, many flaws with this type of thinking. And that's the majority of the school of thought of people inside of VR chat. Nearly every single person lives by that religion.
Wow. It's completely flawed, because just as the person who would think that, if you ask them, like, hey, are you depressed? Dude, they're gonna say yes.
Yeah,
right?
they're going to say
It doesn't
yeah.
make any sense. I don't think they really have like the ability to like understand like that is what's causing their unhappiness. Right? Like trying to chase happiness is the specific thing that's leading them away from it.
100%, exactly what you just said. Yeah, them chasing happiness and solely happiness is the reason that they'll never find it.
Wait, before you go, click this playlist right here to watch more dark internet
And go on.
documentaries.
It was a good educating video. It wasn't a bad video. This was a good video. It was a wild video. I mean, like,